We are in
Dawson.
Dawsonville in Emmerich State Park. We're gonna go take a look at an Airbnb property. Actually, the Airbnb property is up there, but there's two properties here. One is this larger property here, and one is this downstairs property here. We are looking at it as a short-term rental, and basically we want to go in and take a look at this and see if this can be a standalone property, renting this out individually from that one. We'll talk a little bit about what they're currently doing, why they're not being successful, why they're probably trying to liquidate it, but what we could potentially do a little bit different that would make this property a little bit profitable. Let's go take a look inside. So right from the get-go, when I'm looking at things, this whole area screams functional. It screams modern. While it is a cabin type of feel, it's got the wood paneling on it. It doesn't have that woody type of feel, which I don't necessarily like. What I have found is that when people want a cabin, they still want what I'll call chic cabin. So they don't want that all woodsy type of log type of feel. They still are looking for that modern industrial type of look, which this has, but also they still want to get away, be out in the woods, but still feel like they're at home. So really great about this property, as you can see, they actually have pretty nice cabinetry inside, which is what we're looking at. High finishes. The floor is something that you would probably never have to worry about it being damaged. Very functional refrigerator, microwave, small cooking stove. You're not going to have people come up here and be cooking for a family of five or anything like that. So you don't need much more than this. A couple of glasses. But in overall, the kitchen is functional for what you'd have or what you need for an Airbnb. Great place to sit and eat, make a couple eggs, a little bit of breakfast, but that's all you need. And then you can imagine if you were staying in this particular spot, you have a spot you can sit here, watch a movie. They got candles set up, exactly what I would do. I would love to see some sort of fireplace. If we pick this property up, what we'll probably do is they kind of done it over here. Um, but I would like to see something a lot more grand, nice fire, like a fake fireplace, the faux ones or whatever, underneath here, underneath the fireplace, would work out really well. Transitioning into the bedroom, very simple. And this is where what people really sells a property is people want to see themselves, this property is like a two-person husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, getaway. They're looking for that cute, cozy type of vibe. I want to say that all women book things like this, but women book things like this, and they're looking for something that is going to be romantic, something that is going to be just a spot they can get away that is maybe not necessarily at home, but still feels like a resort. Again, still feels like a cabin. Let's check out this bathroom right here, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can see yourself in this tub soaking. You got your bed here, you got your TV, you have a TV actually up here as well. So you can picture yourself, this is perfect for an Airbnb, but you can picture yourself sitting in this tub, soaking, watching TV, couple of candles over here, nice and cozy, just after maybe watching a TV, maybe just having a dinner, or after going out on a hike on one of the mountains and then coming here and sitting down. Very nice, again, clean, chic cabin, but still modern. Perfect Airbnb setup. Now, the question is with all the Airbnbs, what a lot of people do is they look at this and they say, well, this is a really great, really great spot. It looks really great. It's probably going to rent like crazy, but is it in the right location? We're not going to discuss that here. We'll have to do some research later. We'll do that when we can actually go into Airbnb and look at how much is this booking, what's the location, what's the attractions. We've posted other videos about you have to be in a destination site. You could have a beautiful property, but if the pricing isn't correct, you're not going to make money. And if you don't have a great like attraction, like why are people going to come to it? You're going to struggle. It's not just about finding a great property, but it's a great property in the right location, and of course at the right spot. So as they say in real estate, location, location, location. Let's go check out the upstairs or the larger property.
Oh, look at the view. This is a pretty view.
So kind of a cool outside entry area. We're going to cover this in a bit. Let's go take a look inside. And so the same thing, your entry is very important of the way that the space makes you feel when you come inside. Initially, right when I walk in, it might be hard to tell, but everything actually looks very, very old. Different than the smaller unit that's down there, that's all upgraded with all the new modern stuff. This is actually a lot of old stuff. And again, this can be okay because when people are coming out to a cabin type of atmosphere, they're almost okay with things to be a little rickety and a little bit sort of run down and painted over. I mean, that is some of the charm. Think antique furniture, but you want to be conscious that you don't overprice your property then, because if you're overpriced it, then people might expect certain type of quality and finishes, which this property doesn't necessarily have. Kitchen is completely functional. It is actually probably a little bit smaller than what I would like, but you got the burners, you got a vented hood, microwave, refrigerator, dishwasher. I mean, it's all pretty functional. Just like the downstairs, makes a lot of sense. Or just like the property, the single property, a nice spot for someone to sit and eat. And it's not sound weird that I'm pointing this out, but you got to think if you're a family in this particular space, I think guys, there's just beds everywhere in this place. You could probably put 8 people here, but you want to have a nice area that everyone can sit. This is going to seat 6. You got 4 there, so 10 people. I'd put my kids here, adults sit there, would work perfectly fine. So let's just walk into some of the bedrooms because this is quite interesting. What they did here, you can tell they've shrank some of the spacing. 4 bedrooms. And now this probably isn't a very good idea for a regular resale value of a property, but for an Airbnb, it works. Single bed for somebody, small TV, but if you had someone that was just by themselves, maybe a 15, 16-year-old teenager or something like this, this is a perfect spot to get away. One thing that it might be hard for you to see, come over here, Clay. One thing might be hard for you to see is look at this. It is completely open. This is actually something we have in our cabin that we didn't realize. Our master bedroom and bathroom is completely open. Makes it for hard to cover up any of those noises. So walking into here, a small bedroom feeds right into a bathroom. And one thing I like about this bathroom is actually located right off the main. So this is serving for a bathroom for both these bedrooms, but it's also serving as a bathroom as kind of that community bathroom for anyone that's out there, which is very important. Of course, you want bathrooms that are good for the individual spaces, but you always want that community bathroom. What would make this more ideal is if there was a door right here, a pocket door. We oftentimes find that people that are staying at Airbnb, they don't really want to go into the living room to get in the bathroom. So if this had a little bit of pocket door right here, which can be added later, whoever's staying in here would be able to go right into the bathroom. And if someone's eating breakfast, they wouldn't be able to see you. So decent size, just enough space for a queen bed, just enough space for someone to sleep. And guys, that's all you need pretty much for a short-term rental. If I walk out here, this has to be the area that really sells this particular spot. Remember that people are coming to the mountains. They're coming to, get away, to, read a book or whatever, and they want that cozy atmosphere that they can sit, curl up, read a book, and actually look at the view. This has this. I'm going to rank this as a solid, I don't know, let's call it a 7, mainly because the way the furniture is set up. Now, believe it or not, that might sound like a small point, but if I'm sitting here on this couch, what am I looking at? The kitchen, right? If I'm sitting on this couch over here, what am I looking at? I'm actually looking at another door. There's a TV up here. I'd actually like to see some seating that is actually sitting over here in this spot. Could just be a small lounger, something to sit in to read a book, so that I can look out, which is the whole point of this property, is the nice mountains as I sit here and just kind of relax. This house has an incredible amount of small little niches with just cool little spaces. So we'll just walk out here in the small little deck real quick. And you can see here, this is a cool little outdoor patio area. Again, place someone can come out and enjoy nature, enjoy the great weather. This would be a great place in the spring or the fall. They have lighting that's up here. So this is probably a really, really kind of cool vibe. I would like to see some TVs out here, some kind of entertainment. It's not there, but can also be added. But kind of a cool area. Let's go check out the master. And so if I walk in the master, same thing, open to the bathroom. Oh, well, this works because this entire room is enclosed. Remember the other bedroom I mentioned to you that was wide open, but generally you got to think about the seating that you're going to have for anybody that's staying there. That's probably going to be for a teenager. It's a single bed, young person. They don't necessarily need to have, that privacy. In the master, you definitely have a privacy. One of the cool things I like in this cabin, it has everywhere, is that I look up above, it actually has these skylights that are both in the master and in the living room. So of course you can see this skylight right now is being infested with ladybugs, which is just some phenomenon for Georgia that I noticed. Going into the master, again, nothing spectacular about this. A lot of old finishes. I think this countertop is actually a big mistake. The colors in here are grays and blues. It's kind of the theme of the house. And then this gold countertop, I don't necessarily think it works. But this bathroom is functional for what it needs to be. Has a decent shower in it, has your bathroom, has a place to wash. Not as nice as the one downstairs because it's going to serve as a different purpose. You got to think about this particular property is going to be for families. So you're going to have maybe a little bit less of, mom and dad soaking in the tub. It's more about functionality. It's more about come in, hang out, have Christmas, check out some of the trails, and go out about your day. Less about a couple's retreat. So not necessarily needed. Let's go downstairs because this is the part that I think really kind of sells the property. These stairs are steep, but believe it or not, people love this. They just like the idea of it. It's something different. It's something different than you'd find actually in your own property. So while it's a little bit dangerous, actually people like it. So coming down here, this is what I call throw the kids downstairs and get them out of your hair. So imagine you come here, you're two families, you have 4 kids, 5 kids. We have this in our cabin. You have a bathroom off here into this fun play area. Pretty nice, well done. It can serve as both, shower, place for someone to, kind of get ready in the mornings, but it is also accessible to the whole entire unit. So if you imagine there's 2 families, let's just stop here for a second and think about it. Imagine you have 2 families coming up here. You can have a couple upstairs with maybe a teenage daughter upstairs and a queen bed, maybe 2 more kids, but you can have a full family down upstairs. You can actually have a full family here downstairs in their own private space. You have a bedroom over here, bunk beds, which we'll get to in a second, but you can have a completely separate place with separate showers and everything, which is actually a pretty nice thing. I love this area. It's kind of a theater room. We actually have this in most of our Airbnbs as well as an area that the kids can come down, hook up an Xbox or something like that and play, just get away from the parents. Imagine the parents being upstairs, having a barbecue, having drinks, whatever, the kids are downstairs playing. So nice little bedroom here, a spot for a couple. Either way, it's a queen bed. The door here just goes out to somewhere that's not very inviting, so we won't look at that. So then let's come in here and let's take a look at this section. Very important, kids don't need a lot of space. So bunk beds in an Airbnb is actually a pretty good idea. And this is done pretty well. They actually have books on the walls, pretty good and well outfitted for toys and all that kind of stuff. They really did a good job. Washer and dryer, very, very important. Obviously, if you're going to have family that you can come in here and wash your clothes and so forth. And then let's go in here. They actually converted this garage space into a complete play area. A few things that probably would be doing different in here. As you can tell, when you transition into the space, you definitely feel like you're in a basement or a garage or something like that. It doesn't feel very inviting. This garage door, of course, opens up. How cool would it be if this was a clear glass garage door so you could get some of that earth and some of that light in here? It would completely transition the space. I would also add some type of material in here so it didn't echo so much and it would just give a little bit better of space. But overall, this Airbnb has basically everything you'd want for a family. The next question is, just like the one downstairs, is it in the right location? Would people come to this area? If they do, this thing will rent all day long, but it doesn't necessarily is in the right area. So let's go take a look at that now.